Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. Today we are doing a fan request from Matt Williams 6949, and it's for the 1986 horror sci-fi From Beyond. Here is your trivia question for today. What popular late 90s song uses the sound of the resonator from this film as part of the song? The answer will be at the end of this video. Our film starts with two men, Dr. Edward Pretorius and Crawford Tillinghast, who are working on a device that should be able to access the pineal lobe in your brain and allow you to see things from another dimension. It starts off with small creatures that resemble eels and jellyfish. Then something else makes its way through. It attacks Dr. Pretorius and takes him somewhere else, and begins to transform and mutate him into something much more monstrous. Crawford manages to escape, but is thought to be crazy at this point, so he's brought to an institution where only one person believes his story, and that would be Dr. Catherine McMichael, who, along with her hired muscle, Bubba Brownlee, have decided to take Crawford back to the house where it all started to try and recreate the experiment. The movie is based off of H.P. Lovecraft's short story of the same name. What's interesting is the story is actually only 7 pages long. Stuart Gordon, the director of this film, truly loves two things more than anything else. Number one, the works of H.P. Lovecraft, and number two, working with Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton. This film is the second of 3 films that they've all worked together on. Number one being Reanimator, which is also H.P. Lovecraft, and the third movie, Castle Freak, which is also H.P. Lovecraft. Now, director Stuart Gordon has done 2 other Lovecraft based stories without Combs and Crampton, one of them being Dagon, and the other one being the Masters of Horror Dreams in the Witch House. Now, if you really enjoyed the story of From Beyond and would like to see a different variation of it, in 2013 there was a movie called Banshee Chapter, which is another variation of the H.P. Lovecraft story. 2 of the doctors in this movie are actually references. First, there's Dr. Block, who is a reference to Robert Block, who wrote the book Psycho and was actually being mentored by H.P. Lovecraft. Then, of course, there's Dr. Pretorius, which is a reference to another Dr. Pretorius from the original Bride of Frankenstein. And lastly, I'll leave you with a few extra pieces of trivia. The sounds that the doors make at the hospital are the same sounds that the doors make on Star Trek. The house that they use in this movie has an address of 666 Benevolent Street, and the dominatrix outfit that Barbara Crampton wears, she actually gave away at a yard sale. So, as for what I thought of the film From Beyond, I thought it was an interesting yet very odd film. Now, I do always have a bit of a soft spot for body horror, I don't know why, but I did enjoy the film, and I thought it did have really great visuals. So, I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 5. As for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode, what popular late 90s song uses the sound of the resonator from this film as part of the song? So in 1998, the Beastie Boys released a song called Intergalactic, where you can actually hear the sounds of the resonator appearing in the song. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews. If there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments. And as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe.